Hey, we just wanted to pop in here and tell you how our audio should sound.
Oops.
Yeah, we there was a problem with our new setup here that we recorded the whole podcast you're about to see at an incorrect bit rate.
Yeah, it was amazing. We recorded the whole thing. It was very small.
Yeah, so it
Suspiciously so.
sounds almost like we're in another room, kind of muffled, but we can't talk for another hour about the same stuff that we just talked about. So apologies. It'll be better next time.
Yes. And now, on with the podcast.
Yay.
Welcome to those games we play.
Those
guys.
we played. Past accent.
That was right.
It's right here.
It's been a while, yeah.
Did we check how long it's been?
A while.
Although with our,
I think our last, before we started doing these podcasts, our last podcast went up in like August.
wow.
So it's been a while. So we haven't talked about games for kind of some time now.
With this new setup, we could actually do those games we are currently playing.
Yeah, because why aren't I just playing?
This hooked up to an Xbox.
Yeah.
This screen is actually running on a PS3 right now.
Yeah. Oh man, I should just start playing the game. We totally should do
those
that.
games we are currently playing.
Yeah. You guys talk, and I'll just play some terrible game.
We had a great suggestion in one of the comment threads for Tap Concede, which is that on the chance that it be renamed Lizard Chat. Someone literally just tweeted that to me actually like a second ago. That on the chance that someone watching is not as familiar with LoadingReadyRun, we should probably introduce ourselves. We especially should have done that for Tap Concede. It's true. Rather than just been like, hey, here's us.
That's true.
So I'm Graham. Hi.
I'm James.
I am Paul.
I'm a ghost. Well, I'm looking pretty
you are
closely under his lights. I'm Kathleen.
A ghost of Kathleen.
And we are LoadingReadyRun.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what that is, you can go to LoadingReadyRun.com and find out. I'd be surprised, but it's possible. It's possible.
We're a sketch comedy troupe. We do nerdy stuff. We're on Penny Arcade, KTV, and The Escapist, and a bunch of other cool places.
And today, we have a fun list of things that we're going to be talking about. James is going to talk a little bit about, Vigi games, yeah. James is going to be talking a little bit about WoW. And some early impressions of Ni No Kuni. Paul and I are going to talk about some Dishonored, and Paul's got a couple smaller XBLA games to talk about, and Kathleen's going to talk about Professor Layton the Fifth, or Tony Hawk's Pro Layton 5.
Oh man, go for it, Kathleen.
Right?
Tony Hawk's
Pro Layton 5 would be sweet. Wouldn't it be great? You have to solve puzzles by kick flipping? Yeah. Okay, probably be.
There'll be somebody who's like, I want to do a kickflip. How do I do that? And then they have to like, could you help me solve this puzzle?
You have to work out like the physics
I won't
of
teach you how to do a kickflip until you solve this math problem.
Yeah, exactly.
That's basically Professor Layton. Anyhow, Professor Layton 5, and you're thinking, geez, more Professor Layton. How?
You know, you keep talking. Don't worry, I'm just pointing it at you.
What if I don't want to point it at me?
Well, people won't be able to hear you as well. I was adjusting your microphone. Continue.
Anyhow, Professor Layton 5. It is a game. It is a Professor Layton game, so that basically means you're going to get some pretty standard stuff. Overall, the plot is slightly less ridiculous than previous Professor Laytons, which I think really peaked in Professor Layton and the Unwound feature with spoilers. Okay, that the reveal of that game was an entire London had been built underground, which was ridiculous.
What?
Yeah.
An entire London had been built under London?
Under London, and like in secret. It was insane.
What?
I was like, really?
That's madness.
This one is actually pretty believable, to be honest with you, so like that's good. But the major change is that it is now in 3D, and I don't like it nearly as much. I think it loses a lot of the Professor Layton charm. Obviously, the graphics are now 3D. To take advantage of 3DS. So instead of having that ultra flat, basically the look of a cartoon for the cutscenes, it looks like 3D sprites. I think it's a bad change. I'd like them to take it back to it.
Well, the actual cutscenes are still 2D animated.
Sorry, like the Professor Layton walking around and stuff like that. I don't like it. Don't like it.
Are the actual puzzles just as good?
Yeah, the puzzles of a Professor Layton game are like always the standard thing. They're always fine. There's
Transfer
usually...
the volume from this jar into 3 smaller jars.
There's a couple of things outside the box puzzles in this one, actually.
Cool. I remember you being really disappointed in Professor Layton 2, that
The
they
puzzles
just
in 2 were
really phoned it in.
Yeah, like, hey, here's 5 variations on this puzzle. Each one getting progressively harder.
But they picked that up.
Yeah, it hasn't been a problem.
That's good.
But yeah, so Professor Layton 5, puzzles are fine.
Did you at any point engage the 3DS as 3D?
I did, and then I turned it off again.
Are there any puzzles that are like 3D specific puzzles?
No.
Oh, okay.
Professor Layton.
I could see them doing some sort of gimmicky puzzle with that.
Looking at there are some things where you're searching for hidden coins where you can like zoom in on an area, and that might be more apparent if you have the 3D on. The issue for me is that, and this is probably the issue for a lot of people playing their 3DSs, the 3D works as if it's at a certain angle and distance from your face. But you have to hold the thing there, so it can get kind of irritating after a while.
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
And I understand that it's fun and it's a cool gimmick, but I don't use it. Anyhow, so I didn't like that. And the other thing that they added was a little dungeon crawl section where you'd have to alternate going between solving like boulder puzzles to get Professor Layton and his childhood friend Randall. You get to see youthful Layton in this game. He's got amazing hair. There's so much of it.
This is before he had the top hat?
Yes, before he got the top hat. Before he became an archaeologist, there's a bunch of things rumbling about how he's not interested in archaeology.
I didn't actually know he was an archaeologist.
Is he still a professor?
Yeah. No, because he's a teenager.
Oh.
He's like teenage Layton.
Sweet. Jeff Layton.
Undergraduate Layton.
Herschel.
I know his name's Herschel. It would be, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Was that quite a revelation when they told everybody his first name?
No.
Is that like...
That's like introducing Layton's first game.
Oh, okay.
5 minutes. This is a fan. Professor Herschel Layton.
I actually never knew he was an archaeologist.
No, neither did that.
If you played the games, it's really like...
He's not dressed though as you expect an archaeologist to be dressed.
He's like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
He doesn't dress like Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
The first I say, he dresses like a...
But he dresses in keeping with the other people in like the magical fake Europe Professor Layton takes place in, so it's fine. I mean, he has a distinctive top hat, but he's also a main character, so... Anyhow, so these boulder sections are fun. They are puzzles. They are more puzzles. There's also a section where you have to outrun scary mummies, which I did not like. Really did not like. They're not like chasing you, like you can only take a certain number of steps and stuff like that. But didn't like it. My friend Relly was complaining on Twitter that she didn't like it either. We both thought it was kind of scary and dumb.
Yeah, I saw you doing the running around. It looked really silly.
Yeah. And basically after doing like the first room and like trying twice, I was like, I don't like this, and I don't have that many hours to play video games to do something I find incredibly frustrating. I'm going to look up a walkthrough and just go through this as quickly as possible. The other sections of the game were really fun.
Like if you wanted the dungeon crawl, there are lots of good games to do that.
I like that,
Yeah.
but the thing is, aside from those stupid mummy puzzles, I really like how they implemented sort of an adventure-y dungeon exploration section into Professor Layton while you're still doing puzzles. I think if they just had more like environmental puzzles, or rather than, all right, well here we're pulling back to a mythological view of you moving a ball around with your stylus, and you're actually like piloting Professor Layton as he's pushing boulders around. Like I thought that was great, and more of that, less of those dumb mummies. And the alternate side do like 5 times and it sucked. But yeah, overall, I would say it was good. Hey, if you like Professor Layton, you're going to like Professor Layton 5. That's basically...
The tagline is, it's more Professor Layton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it worrying that more and more games are getting like that? Looks like that could be the tagline for a lot of games.
It's this game. It's like, this is why we called it the same game with a number at the end.
Yeah, I mean, if
we wanted to make a new game,
well,
we would call it
technically
something
this is Professor
different.
Layton and the Miracle Mask.
That's the endless debate with sequels, though. It's like, it's like, if they're the same, then it's like, yay, it's exactly more of what I love. Yeah. Versus they never innovate. Yeah, exactly. And if it's different, it's like, why is this called the same? It's so different. Versus, yay, they made improvements. Yeah. Like, wow.
To be honest with you, I actually really think that the Layton series has done a very good job of, this is more of what you like, right?
But new and different.
But there's different takes on it, and there's new like mini games and stuff like that, and there's new applications of the puzzles and stuff in every game. So I thought overall the game was good. I didn't like the 3D graphics. I thought the mini games, like you collect like mini games through the course of the game, and that's always been a thing. The mini games weren't actually. I thought the rabbit mini game was annoying and dumb. I didn't like the robot mini game, but the robot mini game is like very many of the like the car mini game. It's just like from like 4. It's like basically the same thing that they've done before, and I've never liked them, so I don't bother to do them.
You like? Isn't that where you build a robot dog?
Yeah, that one's fun.
Oh, okay.
So that one was a good one. But there's this one where it's like, oh, you have like a toy robot, but it only has so much energy, so you have to pilot it around a course on these like moving things, and there's one solution. It's like really brute forcey and irritating. I don't like that. But there is a good mini game like where you have to like lay out a shop and with like various items that could be grouped either by color or type, and try to like get people to buy all the items, because you start with one item and they'll be like, oh, a white kettle. Oh, and that goes with this white cup, which goes with this yellow cup, which goes with this yellow clock, and a white clock, and blah, 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 right? But you had like a weird configuration, and every item was a different shape. So that was a fun puzzle, and it was easy to... I don't like puzzles where you're like, all right, I think this is it, and then you have to like sit and watch something, and it takes a long time, and it's like, that's wrong. And then it resets. It's like, ah!
That sounds annoying.
It is annoying. I don't like those. Stop doing those level 5. Anyhow. Professor...
Speaking of level 5, yeah. That's how I was going to segue into my game.
Yeah. James has been playing a little bit of Ni No Kuni, which I know that I've been looking forward to.
Not much. Yeah, so I've been looking forward to this game. This game was announced at E3 2000 and a long time ago. It was a while ago.
And like
at least 2 or 3 years, maybe more.
And I remember like it was basically just like they announced it and showed like a couple of screenshots, and it's like, oh, so it's just a Miyazaki film.
Essentially. So it's a combined effort of Level 5 and Studio Ghibli, and it's gorgeous. Like, that's the first thing that I've been saying to people who've asked me about it. I'll be curious to tell them my opinions in another 5 to 10 hours, because from what I've been reading, the first couple hours is awesome, and then it gets kind of grindy. I don't mind grindy, because the other game I have to talk about is WoW.
It's not like you avoid grind.
No, it's not. Sorry.
It's also like a super traditional JRPG,
It is.
right?
Oh yeah, no, it absolutely is. So you're a little kid and you're off to save another world, a parallel dimension sort of thing, where the two are connected and everybody has somebody they're connected to in each other world, so they're soulmates. And so I've honestly only played about 4 or 5 hours so far. I enjoy the battle system. It's a lot of fun. It looks like it's going to get a lot more complicated, which is kind of cool. But again, I've only played for a couple hours, so I don't really have too much to say about really anything. It's just so pretty.
Is the combat turn-based?
It's very Final Fantasy 12 sort of thing. Like, you can move around within it, and you attack, and then you wait, and then you attack, you attack.
It's like
sort of active time battle thing.
Yeah, and so you get familiars, and the familiars can fight, or you can fight. You can choose who's fighting in the battle.
I hear it's kind of Pokemon-esque in that way.
It is kind of, yeah, because you're like, I choose you, and you throw it out, and then it does your bidding. So far, I have
Pussycat.
not that I know so far, but so yeah, the first town is like the land of the cats. It's pretty silly.
There's a guy.
Yeah, Meowjesty, because it's ruled by a big fat
orange
tabby cat kind of thing. He's pretty funny. The sidekick is hilarious. Like, the dialogue is really fun.
The sidekick is Welsh.
Yeah, he is. He's super, super cheesy and hilarious. Whoever they got to do the voiceover for the kid, I don't like it so much, but that's fine. I've been naming my familiars after Simpsons characters.
Nice.
So my first one is Shabadoo.
You're going deep on this.
Yeah, I went deep on the Shabadoo. The next one's Grimy, after Frank Grimes. So I gotta keep going with that trend.
You gotta call someone Mole Man.
Yeah, gotta call somebody Mole Man. I'm sure I'll get a mole at some point.
Yeah.
After Simpsons characters, the first one was
Shabadoo. Yeah.
Wow.
That one. Well,
I love that. What's his name? Drippy.
Yeah.
Is Welsh.
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh, he's so amazing. His dialogue is fantastic. It's a lot of fun. What else though? Like, again, I haven't played enough of it to really talk about it yet. So next month, when we do this again, I'll probably have a lot more to say about it.
I hate that game.
Yeah, at that point, maybe I'll be like, I'll have it here and I'll just throw it around and be like, your turn. Have fun, jerk.
Well,
And then I will have fun for like 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah, and then you'll be like, oh, I see what happens here.
I've definitely heard that it's like pretty grindy, but it's like people complaining about that. It's like, when was the last time you played like a super like ultra traditional JRPG? It's a lot of alright, go to point A, fight a lot of battles along the way, level up, do some fetch quests. Like, that's how those games are.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I mean, if you're going to do one of those games, it may as well look amazing.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, right off the bat, if you do not like traditional JRPGs, you will not like this game. Like, you will find that out within the first couple hours. It is right there in front of you. They're not trying to mask it as anything else. It is what it is.
I find I have to be in a certain mindset to play those games.
Yeah.
Like I find that I every once in a while I get like a hankering for it.
And that's the thing. That's why I'm playing it.
Yeah.
It's because I felt like I kind of had the hankering. Plus, I've been looking forward to it for a couple of years because it looks so cool.
Right.
So yeah, I would just suggest checking it out.
Is the story actually like written by Studio Ghibli?
yes.
Yes. Wait.
I thought
Is
I
it?
think it
I know
was.
obviously the animation and all that is done by. I don't know if it might be co-written. I don't know.
I'm going to check.
You check. I will talk about WoW. So WoW. Pandas. So I was clean for WoW for the longest stretch of time that I had been. So I've been playing WoW since early 2005, and I was up to almost 19 months of not playing WoW. And I know that because I went into my browser. Like the history of my payment. Yeah, like I didn't like I wasn't marking it on a wall, like carving it out, being like, oh, there's another day.
You get like little chips.
Yeah, and I went back and checked, and I'm like, oh, this is the longest break I've ever took. Oh well, so much for that. Pandas.
From when you were born.
So are you a panda?
No, not right now. Well, I mean, I made a panda character, so like.
Wait, you came back and you're not even a panda?
No. Because I didn't want to like level him all the way up right now. I wanted to level up the guy who's already capped. So currently, so I bought it. I leveled up a panda to 15. The panda starting area, hands down, the best starting area Blizzard has ever made. Quests in general seem a lot more fun. The storyline in the starting area was fantastic. And it should be. Like, they just don't have an excuse anymore. They've been doing this for so freaking long that they really should be pretty much close to perfect.
Like it's at the point now where like the starting areas are basically like, or in the first few levels are basically like a standalone RPG, right? Like they are like Diablo or something. They're
yeah, well, I mean, and they've always been like that. They've always
the actual like MMO aspect doesn't really come into it until later on.
Oh God, no. You generally do it by yourself, and you get up to about level 15 before you venturing forth into the world that you sort of already know. And that's been the case for a starting area since really day one. Maybe back then it was like the first 10 levels, so they've upped it a little bit. But this game just keeps looking better and better. The graphics have definitely improved over the years, so that's really neat that, I came back after 18 months and a lot has changed. I still haven't gotten used to a couple things. AoE looting is the best thing in the world.
So you just be like, I want everything in this area?
Well, basically, yeah, if you kill a bunch of mobs in one, like, I don't know what the radius is, but if they are within, let's say, just 10 yards, I'll just say for sake of argument, and you loot one body, it just automatically loots all the bodies around you.
Nice.
It just saves a little bit of time.
I like that, just refining stuff to make it for the game, not actually, obviously, taking away the sort of realism aspect, but nobody cares.
Yeah, well, exactly.
It's like you just want the actual interface to get out of the way.
Yeah, exactly. And they've done a really good job of doing that over the years. It's definitely improved. And there's been like hundreds of little minor tweaks in the last 18 months that, I'm still getting used to, but it looks pretty. The storyline has been really cool so far with the pandas. I've been playing entirely with Adam, so we just get on a couple nights a week, and we've been leveling up a couple guys to 90. I'm like halfway to 90 right now, through 89 that is. Like I'm almost there. And then I'll see what I'll do after that. I had no intention of going back and raiding. I did not get back into it.
You're going to end once you get to the...
Well, I mean, like, So what they've introduced, so it used to be raiding used to be a very like organized thing. Like you were in a guild, you raided Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays, 6 to 9. That was our old schedule. That's still actually the guild schedule, and that's the only way that you were able to see that content. And since I left, they've introduced the Raid Finder, which allows you to group up with, allows you to pug it. And it's cross-server now, and that's been a thing for a while where they actually, like, you're in a battle group, so a couple different servers are grouped together, and it pulls people from all there, so it's faster to get into groups.
So anyone who happens to be looking to raid at that time can do it.
Yes.
That sounds really nice.
So you don't have to be, you don't like have to be part of the guild.
No, so this allows,
sounds way better.
so this allows you to see all that endgame content. It's a lot easier because there isn't the level of communication. The loot isn't as good, but it was Blizzard's way, and I think the best way to get people, because, you know, I would say a huge chunk of their audience just wasn't seeing endgame content, right? Or not to the degree that some of the higher rating guilds did it.
It allows you to do it without it actually being like a second job.
Exactly.
You have to, it's like, oh, well.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, as cool as endgame content is, I don't know that many people who are like, yeah, I've got 9 or 10 hours a week to devote to like hanging out with a guild so I can see this.
Yep. And at the same time,
yeah. So this allows people who don't have that kind of time to hop on one night, like maybe they do have a couple hours one night and be like, sweet, time to raid, time to actually see the content that Blizzard made and experience it. And, you know, maybe the loot's not as good, but at least I get to be a part of the game that they've designed, without having to put in the time and effort and energy into, you know, being in a full-time raiding guild kind of thing.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's this sort of impression that that Blizzard, you know, has WoW, and they're the, you know, 900-pound gorilla of the MMO scene, and they just kind of sit on their laurels. But no,
they don't.
But the reason why they're
constantly innovating and constantly making it better.
And that's why the MMO scene is WoW, and then everything else free-to-play.
Yeah.
I mean, WoW is even sort of partially free-to-play now, right? But isn't it
you can do the first like 20 levels is free to play now, which actually allows you to do. There's PvP is a huge part of WoW, and one of the big things in PvP is something called twinking, and twinking is so every PvP has sort of a section. So like from a level 10 to 19, you get grouped with all those people when you do PvP. Right. And then 20 to 29, so people will get their player to, let's say, 19, which is very popular now, because you can do that for free. You can turn off leveling, you can turn off gaining XP, and just start building up your gear in PvP as a level 19, completely for free.
So that's like
pretty cool.
That's cool. So there's like this whole like other.
Oh yeah, there's. I mean, like
Fight Club.
Like the really big thing that's been introduced since I came back is pet battles. I haven't touched pet battles.
Right. That's like
it's literally like we were joking about Pokemon and Ni No Kuni.
Yeah.
No, this is just Pokemon. Like there is just no ifs, ands, or buts. This is just Pokemon.
That's like the Blizzard just being like, people are not playing our game for certain types of like people who play Pokemon aren't necessarily playing our game. They're wasting time when they could be playing WoW.
We've had these vanity pets for years. Let's make them do stuff.
Can you get kitties?
Yes, you can.
I'm expecting the next sort of thing they introduced to be a sort of a Sims-esque kind of thing where you can like have like your house in your starting town.
Yeah, so they've talked about like guild houses for a very long time. Really? Individual houses, I don't know how that would work. It'd be like
pretty impossible.
Impossible. But guild houses is something that they've been talking about for years and years.
Actually, no, hang on. You know what they could do? They could have like a guild house or something like a hall or basically like an apartment building.
Yeah.
In whatever your starting town is, and then you can go in the front door and it takes you to an instance like your apartment, like the PlayStation Home thing.
Yeah.
But better.
I could see them doing
it,
and like that's where like your bank is, and like put an auction house in there.
You get to decorate it.
Yeah, you get to decorate. I think that'll happen sooner or later. I don't know. I'm curious to see how much.
And they can sell really overpriced things.
Yeah, like what kind of legs WoW has left. I'm really interested because I feel like it's got to be getting close to the end.
How long has it been around again?
Since 2004. Right. Like it's coming up on 10 years. And it's still like played by millions and millions of people, right? Like I think it peaked at like 12, but it's definitely not there anymore. But it still has like I think 8 or 9 million users on a monthly basis.
And there definitely have been rumors of, that obviously Blizzard is working on.
It's not even rumors. They've said it. Like it's Titan. That's the name. That's the code name for the project, right?
Right.
Is their next gen MMO, and sooner or later they have to, tell us what it is.
It's going to be StarCraft, isn't it?
I don't know. Maybe World of StarCraft or something like that. It could be. I think I thought I read somewhere that it was original IP, like it wasn't one of their existing things, which I think is a good idea.
Because it's weird to be if they did a StarCraft MMO while they were still actually
doing StarCraft.
Still doing StarCraft. Yeah.
Ooh. They've finally announced a release date for Heart of the Swarm.
Yeah.
It's March.
We were making jokes about Heart of the Swarm on ENN.
Yeah. It's been a while.
It's like
it's almost 2 years since StarCraft 2 came out.
Yeah.
Which
and
is
it's like the.
They've changed it, right? It was supposed to be like sort of episodic, right? That they were going to release. They were like, all right, we're not going to release it as one game. We're going to release it as 3 episodes in the same game. But now it's actually like Heart of the Swarm is just as big, if not bigger, than the first one.
StarCraft 2. Wings of Liberty.
Yeah, Wings of Liberty. So it's like it's its own game with its own everything.
Yeah.
And it adds a whole ton of new units and all this stuff. Yeah. So I mean, it's like a whole thing.
Did you see the opening cinematic?
I haven't yet, actually. I saw that it came out, but I haven't seen it.
Like it's StarCraft 4, but with the same engine.
Yeah. But yeah, man, BlizzCon this year. We'll see what happens. I'm pretty excited. I gotta go to one of these years. Look it.
Wow. Oof. Paul and I have played Dishonored.
Yeah.
Have you beaten it yet?
No. I think I am very close to the end.
Where are you?
I am back at the Hound's place.
Okay. So
after getting rid of the Overseer, the Spy Master?
Grand Spy Master, whatever his name is.
Yeah, after
Douche Canoe.
After the thing that happens after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I guess I don't know how spoilery we want to be.
Well, I don't want to spoil anything for you.
Okay. Yeah.
But you are getting closer to the end.
Yeah. I'm under the impression I'm near the end. But the thing that happens is actually pretty cool.
Yeah. So Dishonored is really good.
Yeah.
The upshot is it's really good, and I really recommend you guys play it. I'm a big fan of stealth games. I do tend to get into that mode where I'm stealthing, I'm sneaking around, like in Deus Ex, and I get spotted and I just murder everyone. I really tried not to do that in Dishonored because it's a lot of fun to be like sneaking, and maybe I get spotted, I'm like, all right, I'm going to reload this, to sneak around, take everyone out. The blinking is the best. Like you get first level blink just given to you. Your next upgrade, like your first actual upgrade that you pick, should probably just be second blink, because it's like the greatest power for a stealth game ever.
Yeah, like blink is basically a mechanic in the game. Like that's why they give it to you at the beginning. Like it would be if they hadn't given it to you, and like I was just like, oh, I don't know what that thing is, and I didn't get it, and you realize like the entire game would be totally different.
Yeah. Like jumping from like chandelier to chandelier, like through like the roofs of a place. But I love.
I hardly ever jump even.
Yeah, I love how many different ways there are to do stuff and to get places.
Yeah, to accomplish everything.
Yeah, like I like when I get to a place and then I realize, oh, I could have come in that way or that way. Oh, neat.
I usually get it. I kind of get annoyed with that sometimes, where it's like, oh, god damn it, I was supposed to. It's like I was not supposed to do it this way, but like, oh, I could have done it. Oh.
I kind of like that though.
But like, it's when I have spent like a lot of time sneaking around looking for alternative paths, and I didn't find the one that I was like, oh, that would have been the perfect way to do this.
Right.
Damn it.
I think it has a really good progression of. In terms of like difficulty and also theme, that you're sort of like, you do A and then you do A again a little bit more difficultly, and then you move to B and then C and then D, and then you're comfortable with that. You're comfortable with the alphabet, and then it goes, okay, now do 1. And you're like, ooh, now we're on numbers.
So sort of teaching you how to deal with certain types of puzzles without doing it really explicitly.
We're giving you a tutorial. Now do this.
Yeah.
I mean, I do a little bit of that.
A little bit, yeah.
But you know what I mean.
Right? I really enjoyed, there's a level at, that takes place at a high society party.
I was going to mention that level. Is such an awesome departure from this kind of game.
Yeah.
Well, and that was like one of the, like I remember hearing about that level. Like that was one of the levels they demoed as being one of the cool things that is in the game.
Cool.
So I was sort of expecting that coming, and it was quite neat. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can again, like I said, you can just walk through like an angel of death and kill everyone. But your guy's wearing a mask anyway, and it's a masquerade, so you can just walk in. Yeah. And it's apparently there's one guy who you can speak to the guests, and one or two of them have little side quests for you. And I spoke to one guy who was like, I don't recognize you very much. Apparently, if you stay in the room with him for a lengthy period of time, he'll make you eventually. He'll be like, wait, you shouldn't be here, and then he'll figure out who you are. But I felt awesome because it's like I'm at the party, I'm walking around, I walk through the garden, and I like duck away into the guardhouse and like sneak up and then jump across to the upper level of the main mansion, sneak into the bedrooms, like do some skullduggery upstairs, like figure some things out, steal some information, then sneak back down to the party, and then complete my mission, and then just walk out the front door. And I was like,
fun stuff.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was super cool.
Well, and just like so many of those games, like there's like, I don't play these games, but I watch you play them a lot because they're like your favorite kind of game. And so many of these games, there's like, every single mission, it's like, okay, sneak in here, don't be seen, don't do this, right? But just to like give you such a huge change of pace of walk around, talk to people, gather intelligence, and not. And like be as non-sneaky as you want is just really nice. Like it's a palate cleanser.
As an example, this is your first main target mission. Your first one is to eliminate the High Overseer of the Abbey of the Everyman. They have a lot of excellent world building.
Yeah.
I hope they make
little books that you can.
I actually read all of them, which is atypical.
Yeah. I read most of the stuff too.
Like I like that there's a mainland continent that's like weird, and they've tried to make colonies there, but it's always dangerous and fails. And it's all set on this like archipelago of islands.
Or at least, I mean, and the funny thing is, the cool thing is, of course, all the books you're reading, like this society that you're in is just like incredibly totalitarian thing. So, and the books you're reading are written by them. So it's entirely possible that like the mainland is like a really nice place, but it's just what they write down is their perspective on it.
So I want to see more games in this world, basically.
I think they've already said that they're going to do a sequel.
I hope so. But so you have to kill this guy. You also get given a sort of a side quest thing that there's a captain of the guard who's a good guy, who this guy will be talking to at that time, and if you can save him, that would also be nice. So you can bust in there, murder the bad guy, make sure he doesn't kill the good guy, whatever. You can sneak in there, you can like jump down, kill him, or like jump down and knock him out, or whatever. You can neutralize him in some way. And then the other guy will freak out because he's still a captain of the guard.
Yeah, and you're still an outlaw.
Yeah, he'll freak out and pull the alarm or whatever. You can get to the room before they do and do like the Princess Bride and swap the glasses.
Oh, right, because the bad guy is going to try to kill the good guy that you're...
The good guy poison the good guy.
Yeah. So you can swap their... Sorry, I didn't explain that. Yeah, you can swap their glasses so that the guy poisons himself. I believe you can also just poison both glasses if you want to be really
you can
sure.
Just mix them together and poison both glasses if you want. If you don't care about saving the captain of the guard.
Yeah, or you can do what I ended up doing, which is the non-lethal takedown for that guy, which is you knock him out, and then you carry him down the hallway to
all the assassinations can be done in non-lethal.
Yeah, to a torture room basically. Where you brand him as a heretic, which is you like put like giant brand across his face, and anyone in this society who is branded as a heretic, like he's like
you're excommunication. Basically.
Yeah, you're basically excommunicating the Pope, but it's not just like he can't be part of the church. It's like
nobody can talk.
No one will talk to him. No one will help him. No one will give him food or a job. Like you've ruined him.
there's an interesting morality thing in the game in the sense that every single non-lethal kill results in a horrible extended death for the person. In reality.
Yeah. It's like literally, I would say, worse than death.
Maybe not an extended death, but like just like
that guy, for instance,
a long horrible life.
Like that guy, for instance, later on, it just becomes a weeper and dies because nobody will give him any help.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, there's a place later on. There's a bunch of weepers, and you kill them, and there's like a journal there that's like the last journal of that guy.
Oh, wow.
If you didn't kill him, he was one of those weepers.
I totally missed
that. And he was like, I hate Corvo so much. He has ruined my life.
Oh, that's amazing. I didn't know that.
So, but it's like basically none of the non-lethal takedowns actually result in a good situation for the person you're taking down.
No, they're all very evil people.
Especially the one at the party.
Oh God!
I was like,
she wasn't even a very evil person, I don't think.
No, she was actually. I was like, gee, I didn't know about that. And then I reread the books, and I was like, oh, okay, she was actually straight up horrible.
What did she do that was so horrible?
It was I thought she was just supporting the guy who was in charge.
It wasn't just that though. It was like fully and explicitly helping in like some of the horrible things he was doing, and
well, then
they have they're suffering from the place in Dishonored. They're suffering from the rat plague, which it took me a little while to realize is a plague caused by rats and a plague of rats.
It's really a plague of plague rats.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
These rats that are like as big as cats.
Oh.
Enormous rats.
Yeah. What I like is if you do the violent way and you go through killing everybody and you do certain missions that result in more people dying, that raises like the chaos, and that has real significant changes to what happens in the game in terms of how many of these rats you encounter and how many weepers there are. Weepers are people who are effectively zombies because they've been they're so plague-ridden, and if you just sneak through, you just and you non-lethal it, then there's less of those, which I think is
it changes the whole last level of the game too.
Yeah,
and I've been doing it very lethally. Like I've been doing the like silent assassin method. Like I got the thing that when you kill somebody, their body disappears.
Oh, nice.
Which is super sweet.
You've been killing everybody.
So I've been not getting any alarms, but killing everybody, and not killing any innocents, but killing everybody.
Is your chaos level high or low?
Extremely high. Which is kind of annoying because it's like I didn't get any alarms, and I didn't. It's like I didn't cause very much chaos, but I guess it. Like there's more.
People are still dropping like flies for no reason.
No, but and the thing is, it's like there's more rats because the rats feed on dead bodies. But I didn't leave any dead bodies. That was the whole thing. I got a special power so I didn't leave dead bodies. But the not leaving dead bodies is sweet. Like the guys disappear when you kill, because then there'll be like 5 guys in a room. You can be like, boom, kill, boom, kill, boom, kill, and they like look around and they don't see anybody. So like, oh, all right. I mean, and because these are people in video games, they don't notice that 4 of their friends who are just in the room are now gone.
Yeah.
Apparently,
they only notice dead bodies.
I was reading a little bit about the game. Apparently, the AI is sort of like semi-adaptive in that if you have 2 guards that are like talking to each other or in close quarters, their cones of vision and their sort of like tip-off meter is a lot lower because they are distracted in the game.
Oh, that's cool.
But if they're like by themselves on patrol, they're much easier to alert, basically.
Yeah, I rarely did the like grab a thing and throw it to distract the guys, but you can do that.
I tried it like once or twice, and basically every time I tried it, it resulted in them coming towards me instead of towards the thing that I threw. So I was like, this sucks.
I wanna share a brief thing about the chaos, and it's just a minor spoiler. It's just like a neat thing that I found out afterwards. It's in the last level of the game, but there's a guy that like your boatman Samuel, right? If you've been doing everything like super cleanly and not actually killing anybody, he's like, I have a great respect for you, like we're doing the right thing, and he drops you off at the last thing. He's like, all right, it's been a real pleasure. Good luck. You leave. If you've been just murdering fuckers just all day long, then he's like, well, Guess you did what you had to do. I don't know if I agree with it, but I know you're generally on the right side. All right. Well, hope you succeed. And then he shoots off a musket and leaves. He like alerts the whole last level to your location and is like, later. What a dick. I know. I just love that you actually start the last level on high alert if you've been killing everyone.
I guess that could be waiting for me. Oh well. I like Samuel too.
I know, he's a cool guy. I like him.
Except for alerting everybody, apparently. Asshole.
I don't know the exact circumstances.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I just looked it up afterwards.
After you're finished playing the game, though, I'd be interested to have you guys discuss how the final level was.
I'd say one of the criticisms that I ran into, or that I have, is that I found I would have liked more ability to sort of progression for the character. Like you pick up, in terms of the actual like gameplay stuff, like you pick up these runes and things that allow you to upgrade your dude. But the problem is, because there's like basically sort of three ways to go through the game, right? There's like super aggressive killing people, super sneaky killing people, and super sneaky avoiding everybody. Is sort of the three main ways to go through the game. And there's like 10 different powers you can have. And roughly split between those three different ways of going through the game. Like there's a power that allows you to create giant tornadoes, which obviously you don't want to be using if you're being stealthy.
Yeah.
There's a power that gives you like massive adrenaline bursts so that you can kill people faster, which you would do, which again you don't want to do if you're done full combat.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the one that disappears dead bodies, which is good if you're trying to sneak through and kill people. So, but the problem is there's only like three powers basically for each different way of going through the game. And there's only 2 upgrades to each power, and each upgrade costs about 3 runes. Sort of 3 or 4 runes. And you get like 6 or 7 runes in each level.
Yeah.
And there's like, so far I've been to like, 6 or 7 levels. And so like I'm at the point in the game now where I have like 10 runes.
The thing is,
and there's nothing in particular I want to do.
Some of the stealth powers are extremely expensive to upgrade. Like, what was the one where it allows you to possess humans? Like, how much does that cost?
Oh yeah, the second level of possession is ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
Like for me, like I got the first level of the bodies will disappear, which is the bodies only disappear if they didn't know.
Yeah.
If they didn't know about you. So I did spend time on the first level of that, but I have both levels of blink, both levels of dark vision, both of possession, and both of agility.
Yeah.
And I spent most of my stuff.
Like I have both double blink, double bodies go away, one of possession, double freeze time.
Double freeze time. That was the really expensive one.
And double agility, and I stole a bunch. So I was just like, it just seemed kind of, I was like, I could get this power, but I've been fine without it, and there's no particular reason why I want. Like
with possession is great because I used it to get past a wall of light at one point, like pretty late in the game, where I'm just like, I don't know how to. Oh wait a minute! I just possessed the guy standing right beside it, and he was just like.
Like have you seen? Like I've done that. Like the reason why I have level 1 possession is there's this scenario. Is like I don't know how to get through here. I guess because I have 15 runes, I will just buy the possession power, go through here, and it's like that's the only time I've used the possession power. I was like,
turn into a rat.
It works when So anyway. So I would have liked a little bit, like I was kind of hoping that more powers would open up as the game went on. So I was a little disappointed in that. But otherwise, very fun.
I like that the small creatures can't survive the possession, because it's not like you're looking through their eyes, you actually take over their body and transport with them. So like rats or fish, when you come out the other side, die, but humans don't. And so you take over a human, but you can't do anything. All you can really do is like walk and pick up objects, I think. With a person, you can't actually fight. So you take the guy over and you like walk for a bit. Until when you blink out at him, they had to figure out a way that he just doesn't see you immediately because you're now standing right in front of him. So when you blink out of the guy, they have just uncontrollable nausea and start vomiting. They just go and to give you like a few seconds to get away.
I can appreciate that would happen.
Yeah. That seems realistic.
And then they're like, what just happened?
Anyway, so yeah, very good game.
What else have you been playing? You said you've been playing Warp?
Yeah, so before I was playing Dishonored, I got a game on XBLA called Warp, which is a really neat game. It's sort of a three-quarter top-down game where you basically you play this little alien dude who gets kidnapped, by the government, as aliens are wont to do. And so basically the entire game is you getting out of this government facility. But the big sort of hook mechanic is that this little warp guy, he has the ability to teleport. And so you can teleport, you have this sort of short-range teleportation ability where you can just like blink through walls and stuff and to get away from people. And then as the game goes on, you get the ability, you can blink into objects, like you can sort of take over an object and then you move the controller back and forth and the thing like explodes, like you can mess with electronics and stuff. And then you upgrade, so you can blink your body into people, and we go back and forth, and people explode, and other people like expand. And once you get that ability, which actually is fairly early in the game, it becomes extremely gory game. But it's like sort of cartoony, but it's very gory.
Oh man!
And so then, different things happen, and they add different elements to the game, but. And you get like a thing where you can, blink super fast, a thing where you can have like a ghost version of yourself that you can walk through walls and stuff. It's really neat. It's I would highly recommend it, especially if you get it relatively inexpensive on the XBLA, and it's really fun. Yeah, it's not a super long game, but it's very cool. And then the other one, actually, for really really cheap game on Xbox Indie Channel is a game that I just sort of read about, and I was like, I'll get that for $1. Called Gateway.
Can't argue with that.
Which is essentially it's basically like a 2D Portal. Like it's a 2D side scroller where you get this thing called the Gateway gun, which is basically a portal gun. And so you do all sorts of different, you are basically going through this facility and solving various puzzles like you would expect. But then you get different types of gateway guns. Like you get different types of gateway guns. So you get one where you make two portals, but one portal is big and one portal is small. And when you go through the big portal, you come up, the other portal is tiny.
What?
And if you go through the tiny portal, you come up, the other one's big. And so it opens up like a whole new different types of puzzles you have to do.
Oh man!
Like changing your size. And then there's a portal. There's the one that actually I had to stop playing the game because it was just hurting my head too much. There's one where you do one portal, and then you place a portal on a wall, and then this little meter starts filling up, and then you place another portal on another wall, and you jump through the first portal, and you come out the second portal back in time to when you created the first portal.
What?
And so you can duplicate yourself
what?
by doing that, and do all sorts of weird stuff with that. And so it's just basically doing, it's doing portal things, but making all sorts of fun puzzles with it. I mean, it's almost like a Flash game basically,
right?
Just a little bit more refined.
Worth $1?
But for $1, I had a lot of fun with it. And
is it long?
I don't know. It depends on how good you are doing the puzzles, I guess. I haven't finished it. I probably put, maybe 5 or 6 hours into it.
Oh wow, that's good value for $1.
But maybe that's just a fucking puzzle.
Actually, there was another game I wanted to talk about because I assume it came across. I hope it did. I was up late enough doing it. In the opening title animation, it's going through this history of controllers, and then it finishes up with this, which is meant to be basically an iPad or a tablet or some sort of modern mobile surface gaming thing. Since we talked last, it was forever ago. I know that it's not new now, but I guess neither is Dishonored. Oh man, James, Angry Birds Star Wars.
Angry Birds Star Wars is very
It's
good.
really good.
Best Angry Birds
right?
so far.
It's really good, guys. It's a lot of fun. You've got powers. There's the Luke Skywalker one. He has a lightsaber. You can use it to reflect blaster fire.
Yeah.
And then you can destroy the Darth Vader pig who's levitating a bunch of debris, and you destroy the Darth Vader pig, and then all the debris falls, and it's really
it's
fun.
really good. It's really, really good.
So if I had to pick one Angry Birds game to buy and play, it would be Angry Birds Star Wars, you think?
I would still argue that if you've never played Angry Birds before, you buy the original. And then if you like it, skip space and just get Star Wars. Because Star Wars takes advantage of a lot of the space stuff.
Right, like Star Wars is based on space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like Angry Birds Space is a lot of fun.
That was great too. Like that's the thing. Like Angry Birds, and then they did like Angry Birds Season, which is just more stuff. That's just more Angry Birds, and that's fine. But it's just more of that. But then space, I was like, all right, now it's Angry Birds in space. It'll do the same thing again. But it was $1, so I got it, and I was like, holy crap, this is really cool because they did all the gravity stuff was really, really awesome.
Yeah, it's actually like quite a different game.
Yeah, and then now with the Star Wars thing, like I was like, really, Angry Birds and Star Wars? What the hell? And but it's good. They got the space gravity stuff. They've got all these cool powers, and because they're Angry Birds, they do new free levels.
Yep.
Also related, but a totally different game. Bad Piggies is a lot of fun. When they were like, the pigs get their own game, I'll be like, oh, and then we're firing pigs at birds. You know, I guess I don't expect very much, considering that, you know, like we've talked about this before, that you've played Angry Birds before Angry Birds, right? It's like it's not an original game. It's a Flash game or whatever.
Yeah.
It's physics one-shot fire thing. It's not, but they did it very, very well. So I wasn't expecting a lot from Bad Piggies, but I was like, oh, I'll try it. It's a lot of fun. It's a totally different game. It's much closer to like The Incredible Machine. Like you have your piggy, and you got to get your piggy to the end of the level, and then you've got like these pieces of equipment to do that, and then you've got to like build a mode of transport. You've got to like build like a car or a dirigible or like a plane or something, and you're like, okay, I'll put like some boxes here, and I'll put wheels on the bottom, and then I'll put a shaken up soda can on the back for some propulsion, but I need like a propeller on top so that it has a little extra lift to get over this thing, and then you go like go, and then as it's going, you'd be like, all right, I'm going to fire the soda bottle now, and then it shoots out the back, and then I'm going to turn on the propeller at this point, and you sort of like have to just get this bizarre, like, horrible kludged contraption together to get to the end without it breaking and your pig dying. And it's a lot of fun, but it's not anything like Angry Birds.
So I like to think that you are aiding and abetting the birds doing the eggs. That's why they have to escape in these contraptions.
Yeah.
In order to get the eggs away.
And there's what I really like is that the stars for each level, because each level has 3 stars just like Angry Birds, but my biggest complaint about the stars in Angry Birds is that you don't know what your goals are.
It's just point.
Yeah, but you just have to. But you don't know how.
They don't say what point
total. Yeah. And all you can do is just try and do better and better. And on some levels it can be quite arbitrary. Whereas a game like Cut the Rope, there's 3 stars visible in the level, and if you get all 3 stars, you have gotten 3 stars.
Yeah.
So in this, the stars change level to level.
Yeah.
And there's one for like There's ones for do it under a certain amount of time. There's ones for get on your way, get this other item, but also still get to the goal. There's ones that like get to the goal, but don't use this specific item that we've given you, and like try and figure out a way to do it with the other items. And so they're different. They change for every. Do it without any part of your contraption breaking.
So they're more like challenges rather than
and they're all different, and you don't have to do them all at once. You can do okay, I'm going to do a run of this level that's just for this star and get it, and then do another one that's just for that other star and get that. And so I like that a lot more.
It gives you more replay value.
Yeah. So that's all I can remember that I've been playing, because I know that we haven't talked since like forever. But
I mean,
we're not going to go dive back into the
I think game archive.
The archive? No, it doesn't work. I'm sorry.
Stop that.
I'm looking forward to trying. I'm going to try out Far Cry 3 next. It looks like a lot of fun.
It's supposed to be really good.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hopefully have some time to fire up the Golden maybe next week. I don't know.
Nice.
So hopefully I'll be able to report back. But don't be surprised if I haven't actually started it by the time we record this next one.
We'll have a month.
Yeah.
We have lots of time.
Yeah. We're gonna play Magic on Sunday, but that's for another podcast.
Yes, it is.
So yeah. I mean, we're not gonna artificially extend this by just rambling. So I guess we have achieved what we came here to talk about, which was those games that we have played.
Or are still currently playing.
Yeah. If you have any sort of specific questions or things that you'd like us to talk about, specific like industry things or whatever, let us know.
Keeping in mind that we aren't really in the industry, but we can
we can
talk randomly talk about
we'll have
it.
it when we comment on
We
it.
have opinions.
Yeah, we have opinions.
Like, for example, I can't believe no one bought Vigil in the THQ auction.
That seems weird.
That's super strange to me.
I offered them $1, but they said no.
Did you see that?
We offered cookies.
Yeah.
Did you see the Bayonetta people?
Platinum. Yeah.
We're like, we'll buy them on the cheap.
Oh, like after the fact?
Yeah.
Oh,
So I don't know.
Darksiders was really popular. I don't understand.
I think Platinum would make a really good Darksiders sequel too.
I really like Darksiders.
How do you feel about?
I really want Darksiders to get the 2 more games that they need in order to finish their 4th thing.
Yeah.
So that each of the horsemen get their own game, and then maybe a 5th game to bring them all together again.
Who got the wrestling? That was one of THQ's big.
THQ had the WWE license, but I don't know.
Somebody got it.
Sega bought Relic.
Yeah.
Who bought Volition?
Deep Silver, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, well, no. Koch Media, who owns Deep Silver, got Volition.
Right.
How I've been seeing it reported is Koch Media / Deep Silver. Like, it's basically a wholly owned company kind of thing.
I guess. Take-Two got an as-yet unreleased game.
So they paid like $10 million for it.
Yeah, it's like a game from Ubisoft. Well, they bought Ubisoft Montreal. Or not Ubisoft.
No, Ubisoft bought THQ Montreal.
THQ Montreal, right. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because they're in the same town.
Right, to get an unreleased game.
Yeah, and then
Take-Two took the WWE license.
Oh, they did. Yeah. Oh, sweet. I heard WWE 13 was actually a lot of fun. I was talking to some people the other day that were telling me all about the character creator thing. That's just like ridiculous.
Sweet.
You can like, I think they said like, building your own finishing move is like just a ridiculous choose your own adventure with like hundreds of possible options. It's like you do this grab and then you move to this and then you do this and you can set up this like ridiculous thing. He was telling me that he has a tag team that the finishing move is they powerbomb the guy, and then one part of the tag team picks them up by their legs, so that their legs are like they're holding their legs like this, and they're holding the person upside down with their head almost touching the mat. And the other half of the tag team gets up on the top turnbuckle and jumps off and headbutts the person being held right in the groin.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hooray!
And on that fine note, what was that, Jim?
You were saying they spent $10 million
on someone bought like a Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
Their FPS shooter.
Evolve, I think it's called.
Evolve is what it's called.
Yeah. But no one knows what it's about.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Turtle Rock, they've made some.
Yeah, but I mean, how do you feel about Deep Silver, essentially picking up Saints Row? How are you?
They didn't, because they bought Volition. They didn't buy the Saints Row IP. They bought the IP for Metro, but they bought Volition. Who's the company that has made all the Saints Row games.
So,
and presumably, if they're smart, the company that will continue making the Saints Row games, and Deep Silver can keep making Dead Island, and I won't care. Yep.
All right, fair enough. Well, I don't know. Dead Island's really like Deep Silver's first like big game.
Yeah, pretty much. And it was fine. I didn't like it that much, but whatever.
I think the whole like 4-player multi, if you're playing it by yourself, is a lot of the appeal.
I didn't know. So, anyway. Well, hey, thank you guys for listening to those games we've played. And, we will talk to you next time that we do a podcast, which we're not sure what that'll be yet. Yeah, we don't know.
Wizard Chat.
So, we'll possibly...
Cat Time?
Cat Time. That was it. We'll talk to you next time on Cat Time.
Should we bring in Tavern for Cat Time?
Sure.
Really?
See you guys later.
Goodbye.